everyone, this is Jackson Traeger with IWG Ministries, and this is today's Sunday Thought Conditioner. Today's word is joy. Hebrews 12. Therefore, since we are encompassed with such a great cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily entangles us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. Let us look to Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. For consider him who endured such hostility from sinners against himself, lest you become weary and your hearts give up. And the reason that today's word is joy is just with a lot of circumstances going on just in our family's lives. That's the word that really sticks in my heart, and it sticks in my wife's heart. And when I think of joy, what I think of is a happiness and a peace that's so everlasting that it's not something that ever goes away. In Hebrews 12, when it talks about how Christ is the author and finisher of our faith, he went with joy before everyone to the cross, knowing the shame he would have to go through and the hurt he would have to go through, but doing it because he loves us, and that we as humans shouldn't be discouraged by anything that comes in our path that might be a roadblock for us, whether it's an illness or a loved one moving away or someone just getting ready to start a new chapter in life. We should always be confident knowing that the Lord will always be there for us. Have a joy knowing that God loves us more than we could ever possibly comprehend. When it comes to the joy that it talks about in Hebrews 12, it says, keeping our eyes on Jesus, the source and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that lay before him endured a cross and despised the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of God's throne. Jesus, knowing what lay before him, was joyful, yet he despised the shame. We need to go out like Jesus, and knowing that there will be trials and tribulations ahead of us, but go into those with joy, knowing that we have a God who loves us and is in control, and he cares about us, and he'll see us through, no matter how trying or how difficult your situation may seem. Go through with joy, because I know for a fact that God will go through it with joy. Christ went through it with joy. Christ went through the most humiliating and painful punishment possible, but he did it with joy. So we have to know that because we have Christ, we can accomplish anything. We have to endure. We have to endure with joy. That joy has to be our endurance throughout our life. That has to be constant, because so many emotions nowadays are fleeting. Happiness, anger, sadness. Those are emotions that come and they go. But joy is a constant. Joy endures no matter the situation. And again, whether it's you're going through something tough with your family, or something's tough at work, or your finances just might not be where you want them to be, trust in God. Trust that he will provide what you need, and go through your life with joy. Don't ever feel like you're stuck in a situation that you can't get out of. Always be aware that you have a God that loves you and has created you for a purpose. And part of that purpose is to be joyful in all things. That joy is something that I have been feeling a lot recently with my family, with my wife, just the circumstances that I've been able to live under. And they haven't always been easy, but I have a joy, an overwhelming joy, that I know that God is in total control and that he does love me. I know that you guys watching, you probably don't know who I am, and you're normally used to seeing Doug do these videos, but I just want to give you a sense of encouragement that God does love you, and that you should have that joy in your life with whatever may be happening. Know that God is always in control, regardless of whether or not things seem bright or things seem bleak. Because we can't let the weight of sin weigh us down constantly and feel negative towards others, feel negative towards ourselves. We need to know that God created us for a purpose, and that we need to go throughout our lives living out that purpose, but also living out that purpose with joy. And that joy just makes life so much more so much better. Feel free to drop a like on this video or even just share it with one person, because I know that even just giving this to one person, you might be able to really affect someone's life for the gospel. And also subscribe to the channel. We have awesome content, great videos if you guys are interested in learning more about the wonderful and awesome God that's created us.